Hello class, so in this video we're going to be going over the fifth test for convergence. This is called the comparison test. So let's look at what it says. Let's say that we have two different series. So if B converges and then A is less than B, then that means A also converges. And if B diverges and A is greater than B, then that means A is going to diverge. So let's look at why this makes sense, and that'll help you understand which one is which and not confuse us, because as you can look at it, it's really easy to confuse all the less than and greater than and whatever, and which one converges and diverges. So let's analyze these part by part. So why the first one works. So let's say that B converges, and we have this condition. What does that tell us? Well, it tells us that the bigger one converges. So that means the smaller one also has to converge. Like, it only makes sense. Because if something bigger converges, then everything less than that must. Because everything less than that is going to get closer to some value quicker. So let's say that B diverges then that means if A is greater than B, then that means, so if a smaller one diverges, the bigger one doesn't have any chance at all at converging. So that's why that works that way. Alright, so then let's kind of figure out when we should use this. So it's pretty much only useful if you can find something that you know the convergence of and it's comparable to what we have already. So it's not like you're going to compare, like if a sub n were ln or something. So you're not going to compare like ln of n to, I don't know, sine of n. That wouldn't make any sense. So make sure that it's something that you can compare that makes sense. And some strategies. So just first of all, look at what you have. And then you want to figure out if it probably will converge or diverge just by looking at it first. And then that'll guide you to figuring out what you want to do with it. So that'll guide to figure out which series you want. Test them, and then if you are wrong, or if it comes out inconclusive, just try something else. Chances are you'll probably get it the first try once you start practicing and getting it better. Alright. Let's practice this. So 1 over 7n squared plus n minus pi. So I'm guessing this is probably going to converge. So let's get something that is greater than this and compare to it. Okay, so since we have n squared as a leading term, we can see, well, let's see. If we have 1 over this huge thing, then 1 over just n squared must be a lot smaller than it, right? Or bigger than it. And by the p-series test, so by p-series, infinite summation of 1 over n squared converges. Therefore, by the comparison test, so I'm just going to put comp test, our series over here must also converge. So if you notice what I did, I just chose a simple series, so a p-series, that I'm familiar with, that can tell me about convergence of something, and notice that it was similar to this. Therefore, it was easily comparable. So with that, you're able to just use comparison test. Got that done. Alright, let's look at this. What happens over here? So let's see. I'm thinking because this looks like the harmonic series times something bigger, it's probably going to diverge. So, let's see. We know that this, so let's look at it like this. if we have 1 over n compared to 1 over n. If we do anything to this that makes it bigger, makes the top bigger than 1, then this thing's going to be greater. If we do ln, that's going to be greater. So by p-series, the summation from n equals 1 to infinity of 1 over n diverges. And because ln of n over n is greater than 1 over n, then by the comparison test, the summation is also going to diverge. So it also diverges. All right, so that's the comparison test. It's fairly straightforward if you can think about what relates to the thing that you're given. So if you can easily find a function, generally a p-series works the best because you already know the convergence just by looking at the power, right? So chances are if a p-series works, try that, compare them, see what happens. If not, there are other tests that you can use as well. Alright, so that'll be it for this. Hopefully it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.